Hello there and welcome back to another video. Now, I know that you can see obviously the Bundesliga schedule that is in for this weekend between the 16th and the 18th of May. I'm not normally a Bundesliga channel, obviously, but I think as football fans we're all looking forward to seeing some football going on. We aren't ignoring what is happening in the world, the coronavirus, the pandemic, everything that's happening there, and all of the news that's happening in the UK with all the, the furlough schemes and stuff like that seem to be going on and such like that. But what this will do is we're not ignoring what's happening, but we do need a distraction from it. Now, a welcome distraction has been for me so far the UFC. That has been good. I am a fight fan. I am a combat sports fan, and I like watching it, and it's been really good to have that back on Saturday. It's actually back tonight as well, and it's back again on Saturday this week. So it's just welcome distractions from everything that is going on, and to also occupy your mind with something else a little bit different as well. Now, I've not really watched much Bundesliga this season, predominantly because it was always on at times when I would be watching Premier League football or maybe some Champions League football, whatever, or just whatever else I was doing. If there's a UFC event on or something like that, I would watch that as well. But we get the opportunity to basically watch some Bundesliga football. The best setup for me will be this weekend is we watch the Bundesliga. The final game is the Werder Bremen versus Bayer Leverkusen, which is really good because I have chosen Bayer Leverkusen as the team that I'm going to try and follow during this time. That will finish at 7. That will be kicking off at 7:30, finishing about maybe 9 o'clock, something like that. Have a little bit of a break, and there's going to be some UFC on in the evening. So it's going to be nice to sort of have that little thing back ready. Now, obviously, this is all scheduled in. There's still going to be a couple of days left. We are on Wednesday at the moment. I'm losing track of my days. I'm having to look. But we're on Wednesday at the moment. This is going to be taking place between Saturday and Sunday, and Monday as well, sorry. So that's the Monday night game. I didn't actually see that there. But yeah, anyway. So we've got that happening. Anyway, there's a lot of things that could happen in between now and Saturday, but I am still hoping that these games will be able to take place and we'll be able to enjoy some football, at least, maybe. Now, let's have a look at the table for the Bundesliga. Obviously, the leaders for the Bundesliga seem to always be Bayern Munich. And one of the staples that people always say is whether they start the season from behind or they're having to chase people, once Bayern Munich get on top of the table, they very rarely let it go. Now, I think that at this stage of the season, with 25 games played, Bayern Munich aren't as in front as they would probably like to be, only being 4 points in front of Dortmund, 5 points in front of RB Leipzig, 6 points in front of Borussia Mönchengladbach, and 8 points in front of Bayer Leverkusen. It's still quite tight in some areas, and I'll be totally honest with you because I know that there's only 18 teams in the Bundesliga. I'm not sure what their qualifying places are for Champions League, whether they have a top 4 or is it a top 3. Something like that, and do they only have like one space for the Europa League, or do they have 2 spaces as well, like the Premier League? I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. I probably should have looked that up, but I just kind of wanted to have a look and see what was going on for us here. So a lot of people are trying to figure out what team that they would like to follow and support in this part of the Bundesliga with it happening right now. And a lot of teams, me being a Liverpool supporter, some people would probably expect us to go one of 2 ways. You're going to go and follow Borussia Dortmund, obviously Jurgen Klopp's former club, where he got most of his success in his career and built a very, very good team. Won, I think, the Bundesliga twice in a row. I think maybe 2010, 2011 or 2011, 2012. I can't remember what it was. I think he won the domestic cup as well, but again, I'm not entirely sure on that one. The other one would be RB Leipzig, predominantly because we have got interest in Timo Werner and to see him perform. Now, I am interested in seeing him perform, but I don't just want to go for necessarily the top teams. There might be some people that want to go and jump on and watch Bayern Munich, and hey, all power to you. That's absolutely up to you. But I decided to go for where did I put it? There it is. I decided to go for Bayer Leverkusen. Now, there are a couple of players in this team that do actually genuinely interest me. Kai Havertz is one of them. He's linked to a move in the Premier League at some point, but that's not really what I would be interested in anyway. For me, he just looks like a very interesting player. He's good with both feet, 6'2", big midfielder, quite creative as well, but has also got a banging shot on him as well. There's another player called Leon Bailey, who's a forward on the wings. I think he's a Jamaican player, but I'm again not entirely too sure on that one. And they've got some other interesting players as well. Jonathan Tah at centre-back is a very commanding centre-back as well, very physical presence. And I just feel that they've got Demir Bey in midfield as well, another good midfielder, quite more of I feel, a defensively minded midfielder as well. And then up front, I know that they've got Volland, but I can't really remember exactly what he was like, and I don't want to start quoting things like FIFA and stuff like that because it doesn't really work. But as it says here, they are Die Werkself, I think that is how you say it, the working 11, and I kind of like that. You know, I'm from a working class background, a working class family. We even though I don't sound like it, we come from Liverpool. So I mean that's not where we are these days, but that is where we are from. And as it says, I remember, I think it was a good couple of seasons ago now, probably maybe more than that, I believe Sami Hyypiä, obviously Liverpool legend, used to be their manager, and I took an interest in them back then because of, you know, Hyypiä was their manager, and I was like, yeah, why not? And he had them playing some good football at that point, but I think he got sacked the season after. Leverkusen, they've always been among the top 5 clubs in the league for about 3 decades, despite not a lot to show for it in terms of titles. A blue collar club, despite wearing red and black, and their kit is awesome. The red and black, I think it's the red down the middle and the black on the sides and stuff. I think their kit is absolutely fantastic. The consistency in league play has seen them finish in the top 4 7 times in the last 10 seasons. Currently, the club boasts attacking midfield winger Kai Havertz, who's up there with the likes of Dortmund, Haaland and Sancho, while being courted by the biggest clubs in the world, which is, I think a lot of them are Premier League based that he's been linked with. I think he's been linked with Liverpool before, but I don't think that link is very strong. Leverkusen is a club that plays in the Champions League often and craves a trophy. If it happens, expect a celebration like no other. Now, I can relate to that. Obviously, you know, we have had a bit more of a successful, 3 decades than Leverkusen have, and I'm talking about Liverpool here. But obviously, when we celebrate winning a big trophy, like when we won the Champions League, I think even when we won the League Cup in 2012 under Dalglish, it was a good celebration. We weren't really, we haven't been relevant in the league picture for a fair few seasons until Klopp came along, and then obviously winning the big one, old big ears, winning the Champions League was massive for us. It was so massive for us. Like it gives us goosebumps today. So I will be following Leverkusen. I think it'll be really quite interesting too. This page is that I'm looking at. It's got a description of all of the teams in. It's cbssports.com, and if you look at Bundesliga returns, you can go and look. If you're not entirely sure, I might see if I can copy this link and I'll put it in the description of the video actually, and see what you think. If you're not sure of who you'd like to go and follow, I'll put the link in the description for this one. Have a read of it, and you can maybe learn a little bit about the teams, which one might appeal to you. There's obviously a description of all of them. You've got the big 2 at the top right now. The big 3, sorry. Bayern Munich, Dortmund, and RB Leipzig. Then it just goes on from here. So yeah, I think that could be actually quite interesting. So feel free to have a look at that one. Let me know who you're going to follow in the comments below as well. That'd be really cool. But yeah, I think it's going to be a great schedule. So Saturday, you got 4 2:30s, 5 2:30 kickoffs. Dortmund v Schalke, RB Leipzig versus SC Freiburg, Hoffenheim versus Hertha BSC or Hertha Berlin, Fortuna Dusseldorf, is it? I'm not sure, versus SC Paderborn, Augsburg versus Wolfsburg, Eintracht Frankfurt versus Mönchengladbach, FC Köln versus Mainz, which is also Jurgen Klopp's first club that he was a manager at. Union Berlin versus Bayern Munich, and Werder Bremen versus Bayer Leverkusen, which is the match that I'm going to be following anyway. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm quite excited to see what's going to happen with the Bundesliga coming back in, in such a way with a full schedule, all the teams taking part. But also it will probably have a foot forward in terms of what will happen for football to return for the Premier League. Obviously, the Premier League are talking a lot about coming back, having return dates between the 8th and 12th of June. I think they're waiting that long. I say that long, I still think it's too soon. The Bundesliga are going to show us whether it's too soon as well to come back, and we'll see what happens when the weekend comes. But there's a lot of, the Premier League players are going to be coming out and they're going to refuse to train when it comes to Monday. And when most, or if not all, clubs are going to be due back to training, that there's going to be a key amount of players that will not train. I think Danny Rose has put out the most vocal one, and it's hard to disagree with what he's said in terms of, like, you have to sympathise with him and his thoughts. You really do. I don't want to, repeat what he said because there's a lot of expletives in there as well, and I don't like putting them on video. I don't know why I don't like putting them on video. I just don't. But yeah, you have to sympathise with his thoughts and everything like that. The Bundesliga might pave the way for the Premier League to come back and show that it can be done, or it'll show that it might not be ready to be done yet. We will have to wait and see. But let me know what you think in the comments below of the Bundesliga coming back, and who will you be following this weekend and maybe forevermore if they do return for a long period of time, or indeed if they get to finish their season. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you once again, and I'll catch you later.